Hi guys, remember to smash that like button and also subscribe. Subscribe to that channel, make it up to 10,000. You might have bear skins like us, right, Alexander?
Yeah, we totally have better sons. We totally don't have like kind of sons of us.
And we are gonna do non-stop battle royale until
And
we
the
figure
tournaments,
out, and
3
then we're
hours.
gonna to practice for the tournament in 3 hours. It's our
Yeah,
first tournament. If my mic goes out, guys,
that will be
I
bad.
need to charge it, and my dad doesn't know how to plug it in, and I don't. So that's gonna be.
Battle Royale mixed. This might be on. This one already. Battle Royale
Wait,
mixed.
yeah, do it, do it,
Wait, I don't know
do
if
it.
it's that. It's Monday. It sorts on. Monday it sorts on, I think. Maybe, I don't know. This is it, I guess. Battle Royale. This might be it. This
No,
might not
I
be a
said that
tournament.
you can plug this in. It's not going up. No, it's red. It would be green.
I went under deep cover with the
It's not on. It's not on the cup.
Yesterday.
Terrace Networks forms 5x
Cup's not on today.
Script says this may be his most challenging mission, trying to
Put some
figure
Battle
out
Royale
the
on.
truth
Wait.
about what plane crashed near Roswell, New Mexico in 1947.
Wait,
This is it. Ground zero.
wait.
Don Schmidt has
Alexander,
written
how do you
7
put an
bestsellers
event
about
on?
Roswell.
And then on. You go by to Epic, buy. Well, you should bet the Epic, buy Epic. There should be like different cups and that stuff.
And Alexander,
What?
ready up.
What is this?
Guys, we're gonna just do non-stop normal battle royale.
We might do a tournament in 3 hours, okay, guys?
No, it's 2 hours now.
Wait, it's 2 hours really? Okay, Matt, we're just 2 hours. I'm really excited for this.
So we're gonna play
You come on,
like
money.
a couple, like we're gonna play a lot of matches.
Guess what? So if we want money, guys, we're
Wait,
gonna give it to you.
guys. Yeah,
We're
we're gonna give, but yeah,
Yeah, for like
if we get, if we get past the 20, if we get how much points?
Wait, it's like if you play 50, you get 1,000.
If we get like over 25 points in our first match,
Why is my aim so good now? Somebody take my head. So good.
by the way, if my headset dies, I don't think I can talk to you or hear you.
Oh, that's really bad.
Okay, so Alexander, we're gonna try do it in ranked, squad, field, duel,
Okay, we're gonna do like every single one.
zero build, normal build, anything. We need to practice.
I'd say that after us will be really good at this game.
Wait, okay, so wanna just try and get me down here?
Oh no, let's just land it somewhere. I always land it not Abu Dhabi place, I always win.
But we need to practice. Alexander, one. Okay, land there.
Yeah, it's a good bet to land
Alexander,
that.
remember, try and just get up to land near it. Land on it. That's how you get look, because you need to do it as fast as you can. And
I'm gonna hire somebody.
Hire.
Tired of done. He didn't do any good thing. I already checked if he did any good loot. He didn't do any good loot.
Round two, okay.
Do you know battle pass is going to be Peely? Peely's going to come back.
Nah, Peely's never gonna come back.
Really? It's funny. No, I mean like Peasant Peely. Peasant Peely is come back. Peasant Peely. Because remember that emote? There's like a wanted. Peely's wanted. If he comes back, it's going to be like a god one. Go back a god one.
There's gonna be emote one.
Yeah, it's gonna be
we have to
gods.
we need to look up.
So like a god, it's gonna be like a god, but it's a bit of
Alexander,
gods.
we offer you.
That's a lot really
Oh,
they've got
lovely.
tool that I can't
Phone
use.
them up, you phone the office.
Oh, they have them. Yeah, so I can take that.
Tell them the laptop.
Oh, Sundays.
She wants to go.
And that's Sunday, I guess.
What's the way?
It was.
What she wants to go to Gap?
We have,
No.
we basically have 3 people. That's 2.
Okay, we need to like look up as fast as you can.
Right, you watch it, get
Okay,
that tap
Alexander,
over
come
there,
next to
right?
me. No time to waste.
We
Yeah,
are.
have that.
Oh yeah, oh sure. I guess. Oh, it's perfect.
I would.
We can test this. Oh, it's,
Wait,
it's not that good. I actually can do that if you want.
I'll give you that. Thank you.
Drop
Okay,
them
Oh,
down.
my
Alexander, stay here. Remember,
Which is on that.
No joking.
it's an
Go on,
actual tournament. Okay,
I watched that actual tournament.
you can keep
It's
that.
not tournament now. I never meant that. I want that.
You did it?
I said there's people.
Look,
Yeah.
as if you are okay. They booed
Who was that? Who did that?
Christmas time.
Like you?
Imagine booing Santa and somebody
Why
say,
was that you?
this is the beginning to realise the consequences for the
Oh, you-
behaviour.
Oh, I think
Can't
he's
boo
like
this
being
man and
turned
think you'll
out.
get away with it for fuck's sake.
I think his mic went out.
That's
So this
karma
is
to
good.
Santa.
Why we have to come? I know your mic's out. I have to reboot. Please reboot him.
No, we shall that Matt Jordan. There's something about him.
Well, do you know, see the night of the spam phone calls, right?
Yeah.
And I went to go on, and I went, do you know anything about these spam phone calls? I went to Mary to convince Beth and saying it. She's saying she can hear her, she can hear her voice and all that through the spam phone calls.
People-
I thought you'd hear
And
her.
Siobhan was like that. I'm just going to show you this. And it was Beth's phone, it was a video of Siobhan going through all the spam phone calls that went through it to you. She went, the sergeant at the cadet ended up taking her phone off her because it wouldn't stop ringing. She went, so she's getting these spam phone calls. And see, every time Mirren was on the phone to Jordan, there was no spam phone calls coming through. And I was like, I'm telling you now, I think it's Jordan that's setting Beth up for it.
Michelle, I was howling, I was in
She was fucking raging. She was
Maybe back to the new one, I've said.
She was blaming us, and I was like, they spelled us up wrong. Are we retarded? And couldn't get if you could have done that, and I was like, why the fuck did we do that? Why would we go to all that
Was
trouble?
it you?
No, that's a fucking thing, the one I think, isn't it?
Not any of our handwriting.
I thought it looked like it was you the what, like you did that. I thought it was
No,
But
that's
then
not
it's
it.
ours.
Uh-huh.
Not me, and I was like, I don't know.
No, you look at it, Uncle Alex's writing is.
Well,
You'll be the
what's
type
happened
that
to you?
get a Valentine's card.
Okay, that's
because
quite serious
you
volume.
get it. You know what I mean? You won't be thinking, get you with that sentimental
No,
about
he
it.
wouldn't do that.
You know what I mean?
So I was like,
Because I understand you would think, yeah, like a mum or dad would send it,
No,
but
no,
Best,
I don't know.
because why would Jordan have the iPad?
I think whoever's done it.
Well,
I don't know, there's something that tells me it's genuine, although Mirren doesn't think so. It's somebody that, if she's raging, she said she's going to fuck it whoever's done it.
well, what do William?
It's from Aston.
it's a Mazda.
Yeah.
What do William because he just
Your money.
something just happened. He just
I think he was charging his stuff.
no, it's no. He just no. He left the whole entire game. He disconnected.
I can tell
I don't like spell Urquhart like.
Is there a way?
Alexander, where's that? Look, you and me used to go to it.
Turkey?
Yes, where?
No, actually.
That's all the knees one. That's in the bar.
Do you know I also was ambidextrous? You could do it full time.
She won her family. and like But you know, it wouldn't put it past her mum to deliberately make her left-handed just so she'd be different. It just screams of that.
What too, William?
Mexico became the focus, not only the Soviet Union, but also the UFO phenomenon, as though someone else was very interested in our military potential.
By late June 1947, more than a week before the process, residents in the
Can you text Dana?
Yeah, that's fine. That's it.
Can you text Dana?
Then, on the morning of July 6, 1947,
Yeah, he
something
did
she
some
was
things
strange.
that are questionable.
Roswell called a nearby army airfield to say that a sheep rancher had come in with pieces of debris that he believed came from a flying saucer.
And I literally asked Badger about it, but actually I feel bad.
The base's commander was Colonel William H. Blanchard, a highly decorated military pilot who in 1945 had supervised the mission of the Enola Gay, the bomber that destroyed Hiroshima. By 1947, the base was still home to the 509th, the world's only nuclear-equipped bomber squadron.
Roswell was the headquarters of the elite military at that time. The base was always on full alert because it had the atomic bomb.
They should be in response to the fact that
Colonel Blanchard dispatched the base's intelligence officer, Major Jesse
you
Marcel,
got to form that
with
bond.
him Sheridan,
Yeah,
an agent for Army counterintelligence. According to Don Schmidt's research, this is what happened next.
Monday morning, July 7th, Jesse Marcel and Sheridan Cabot arrived at
but I
Operation
remember picking up the
with the ranch.
stuff like that. Well, that's all
Major Jesse Marcel said the first thing that struck him was the massive amount of debris. As he would say, there was just so much of it, covering an area almost a mile long.
Interviewed later about what he saw in the briefing, Marcel claimed it was 3/4 of a mile long, a couple hundred feet.
At that point, that material was out there for days, and no one else is looking for it, which would clearly suggest it's not ours. And if it's not ours, then whose is it?
It's a gap that keeps
So
on
Marcel
going.
and Cabot spent the better part of the day out there looking at this thing and trying to determine what it was.
Marcel picked up different pieces of debris and put them in boxes in the trunk of his car.
Cabot would stay behind and concentrate more of the wreckage in a general area. Marcel would make the drive back to Roswell.
What Jesse did next, according to his clarified, was an uncharacteristic description of military.
He knew the material would be classified top secret the moment it would cross the front page at the Roswell Army Airfield. It was important enough, strange enough, unusual enough
Oh my god.
that Major Marcel would stop at his home on the way back to the base.
William,
Somebody don't
He came back.
should I put this to it?
2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, they're there. Well, I just put a bloody out.
And he wanted me to see it.
Marcel would describe paper-thin metal-like material, practically weightless in your
That's your
hands.
life up for the next 10 years.
There were silken strands of material that Marcel described that allowed to be held to one end, and then the light would emit the opposing end. Well, there were studies by optics in 1947.
That's still too young.
Optics that developed until around 1970. And then the eye beam structure.
Some people's eyes that could have been too young.
Usual part of
Bad
the
for you.
breathing
Some people's eyes made me grow up. So
Jesse Marcel Jr., as a lifetime, thinking about the strange material his father brought home and let him handle.
They were very light, very strong, and they had some writing on the inside surface of this. And that was the thing that really set this apart from anything I'd ever seen before.
so as it's very young, but 23 isn't that bad, but 15, it's horrendous. You could argue though, right? Like, see once that baby's 15, you can give your best. We struggle don't we? Because you get older, and your body is definitely 30 and 40.
Having learned of Ben Smith's investigation, the Marcel family is eager to talk with him. They believe they have something certain.
Was it London? Mark looked at Gothenburg if you want to choose where you're going.
We have 300 trillion stars,
Although, once a day, I've
Really
spent
good.
that world with doing more.
scattered across like 15 billion
After that,
light years.
Okay, put it left. No, wait.
And to think that we're all alone in all of that space is pretty sad.
Five is one of the night. Five is
wanna know.
maybe up a different time.
Is there anybody out there? And have they been here?
Four of us, all of us back.
The Roswell incident has got the potential for physical evidence.
Although I'm still waiting in line coming through. This line's coming through,
All describe something
For what?
the world has never seen before. There's no way for me to know what to research. To start at the bottom, figure out ways to go back.
Oh, double 7 Septembers.
Marcel has a journal belonging to their grandfather.
Have to go every week.
The journal could change the entire story.
That's
So what happened?
every week. So that's therapy time. That's White Farm Hospital it's called. To go there every week, but especially to do things like that.
Hi, hey, Jesse Marcel.
Jesse, pleasure to meet you, Ben.
Yeah, nice to finally meet you. Come on in. My brother and sister are here as well. First saw the journal going through some military documents of my grandfather, and it was just in the military documents. Here's a diary.
Oh, okay, wow.
He put it in a cedar chest and was in there until the day he died. There's something very important about that journal.
Some Celtic fan.
This is pretty wild. Until now, no one outside the Marcel family has ever seen this journal. Does it contain fresh details about what really happened in Roswell?
You put one in your hand. Say Celtic fan. If whatever you get one in your hand, you're
January 4th, 1946 to 1948. So a year, almost a year after. It's almost exactly a year.
I knew you said the day before, I'm going to single had
Has
the
taken us to
comments on that.
Spokane, Washington, to meet the grandchildren of Jesse Marcel, who believe they have been
Next to that bell, behind the fence.
When can we get something again? Right.
It's so funny though.
About a year out.
After his death, Marcel's family found a journal hidden in his military records that he had never shared with anyone. There's something very important about that journal. There are entries dated from around the time of Roswell, but the notations are strange and confusing. Could they be coded clues to what Marcel really saw?
Why was he writing movie quotes or songs?
How into pop culture, movie, and books was your grandfather?
We never talked about that guy as my grandfather.
No. You know, it could also be something like a mnemonic device, where you memorize something totally different from the subject matter, so that prompts your recall later.
Ben wonders if their grandfather a seasoned intelligence officer, was trying to hide information because he'd been warned never to reveal the truth about the UFO.
He worked in intelligence. You're not gonna work it out like that. You're gonna be kind of got it from no one anybody else is 2 years of writing.
At one point, the military came back and said, yeah, you gotta stop making this stuff up about the UFO crash. And he grabbed the medal for everything he had done. He was done. And he was very upset.
Jesse Marcel was born in 1935 in southern Louisiana. His childhood fascination with maps would lead to a job with Shell Oil, where he worked with aerial photographs. This combination of skills made him an obvious candidate for Air Force intelligence. After America went to war in 1942, Lieutenant Marcel's job, mapping targets for bomber squadrons in the Pacific, earned him 2 Air Medals and a Bronze Star. When World War II ended, Marcel, with a young family to support, decided to stay in the military, receiving a plum assignment with the Army Air Force's most elite unit, the 509th Bomber Squadron based in Roswell.
He always said that he was sworn to secrecy, so he never shared everything that had happened out there.
Whenever he saw his wife had taken to show her some of his wife this stuff.
The Marcels say that after stopping at home to show the debris to his wife and son, Jesse arrived at the Roswell Army Airfield for the regular morning officers' meeting. He presented the strange debris he collected to the base's commanding officer, Colonel William H. Blanchard. Blanchard ordered his public affairs officer, First Lieutenant Walter Haupt, to issue an immediate press release.
I was instructed by Colonel Blanchard to put out a press release, which in effect stated that we had in our possession a flying saucer. As soon as that hit the Roswell Daily Record, it was broadcast by the local radio station. It went. They didn't use that term back then, but it went viral across the whole globe. This afternoon, a bulletin from New Mexico suggested that the lightning homicide in the series of flying saucers may soon be solved. Army Air Force officers reported the force of strange had been found and impacted sometime last week.
As news that a flying saucer had been discovered spread around the world, the Army chain of command took control. Millions of Americans believe that what happened next, the effort to conceal the UFO crash, is one of the greatest cover-ups in U.S. history.
Colonel Blanchard ordered Major Marcel to fly to Carswell Army Airfield in Fort Worth, Texas, to present the material to Brigadier General Roger Ramey, head of the 8th Air Force, commanding officer over the 509 Bomb Group.
Marcel thought he was flying to Fort Worth with pieces of flying saucer debris.
People.
Major Marcel would arrive at Fort Worth approximately 4 o'clock that afternoon, and he presented the material. Ramey took Marcel to an adjoining map room. When Marcel would return with the general back to his office, the real material was gone. In its place was a weather balloon.
The Army called a hasty press conference. It's at this moment, according to Schmidt, that the alleged cover-up begins.
Ladies and gentlemen, mystery solved. It's just a weather balloon device. Nothing to worry about. And the press accepted. All the personnel at the base were ordered never to bring it up again, never to talk about what had transpired, and they got away with it.
31 years later, however, the man at the center of the Roswell incident from the very beginning came forward with what he said was the real story.
Marcel says in the interviews, that's not the stuff I got.
In a 1980 interview for the series In Search of with Leonard Nimoy, Marcel claims he was forced to go along to cover.
Stand on it.
It's a fiction, of course,
John
Anna.
Black or something.
Comments for me, but I
He was
wasn't
someone
able to
of
do that.
the World Trade.
So all I could do is keep a mouth shut. Discussed or told the newspapers. I mean, the news matters. What it was, nothing more than
Watching this interview with his grandchildren, you can really feel the emotion. Marcel claimed the military swore him to secrecy. For his family, it was a government cover-up playing a
The memorials were the back of the
He
ground.
didn't want the spotlight. He didn't.
I
In fact, he kind
followed
of shied away from
what
it.
happened.
But I really think that this gave him a way to release a lot of weight on his shoulders. This was like a cleansing, a way just to let out the soft chest, really kind of go where it's going to go.
I mean, he's incredibly courageous. And I know there are very few intelligence officers who ever come forward in public about what they did. So
People,
there's a very admirable.
People right here.
And there's this like fire station, right?
Harold.
And outside there's pictures
Harold.
on the wall or the firefighters. And then I've only
Harold.
he's fucking lovely, all these nice others like him, he was doing it, blah blah blah, underneath it, and then there was a fallen brother, in the lobby.
People.
I was like, you're happy! And she was like, oh my god, and she's like up there with the
Is that what both these were saying? You were
No,
there?
she was saying it, I wasn't. But I was like, oh my god.
Trait of bravery. He stood up for what he believed and he went out, right? And he spoke to everyone, and that takes guts, and then to deal with the blowback.
He felt that there was an importance for it to come out, to be seen, that something did occur.
No, I think he was really upset that they made him and that he couldn't believe that it's still at this point that it was still being covered up. And I think he didn't want it to be out, but at the same point he knew that there were secrets that had to stay secret.
I think one really wanted to tell everything about it. That's the reason I think there's evidence out there that he did. You just gotta get to it. Jesse Marcel's grandchildren hope the journal will be by revealing the truth about what really crashed at Roswell and the cover Mason was forced to participate in.
Somebody came out and said, you know what, he served his country well and we apologize for making him go through this. And also my father, I want some vindication for him too.
I probably don't have answers. We just look at it over time, and as we start to build the investigation, perhaps some of these clues will come into focus. This can be a game changer. The rest of the story about what happened at Roswell is most importantly.
Around in the old subway track. Made like a walking above the streets and that.
During his investigation,
Island
Smith would work with Joe
Happy.
Apollardo, a veteran journalist who specializes in
Empire State
aviation.
Building again, that's the other one.
My investigation really starts
One World Trade
from
Center.
this man here, Jesse Marcel Sr., the Chief of Intelligence of the 509 Bomber Group at Roswell Army Air Force Base. Jesse Marcel Sr. kept a small army portfolio of his military records, and in it a small journal. Jesse Marcel, the man at the center of the claim that Roswell was a cover-up, kept this journal among his most important papers. Obviously, it was very valuable to him. The question is it a key to my investigation? Some of the dates described in the journal capture
What's the CD?
1947. It's a remarkable piece of history, and nobody really knows about it yet.
You're right to be excited. If this is real, if this is an actual journal from that time,
Do I have a
it
boss
would
like
represent the primary source document from that era. So that's the thing that you want to go after as a researcher. I would like to take a look at what you got to see a little bit more about this diary.
Let me actually bring it up on the projector here. This is the notebook here. Right away I see.
I don't have the ammo, but it's right. I'm not going to do
LSU
that.
notebook. So here we have a day 1946.
This entire journal comes from when he was a prosecutor.
No, say party that
Our
one.
date here, we have August 31st, 1947. About 6 weeks, 7 weeks after the U.S. Army Corps put out their infamous UFO crash in Roswell, flying disc.
That's a horse.
There's beautiful cursive and writing. And then if we fast forward, just kind of erratic, mixed case, blocky lettering. And I can't make sense of it.
A couple of things leap to mind immediately. This is change, this drastic. It's impossible not to notice that it's different. It's either a different person writing it, or it's a same person in different mindset. Is that by design, or is that just unintentional?
The content seems the same.
How does the journal compare with the timeline of the incident?
Well, there's no mention of Roswell at all. No mention of any events, no mention of any records. Just these jokes, quotes, musings, and ideas captured in different handwriting. And there's only sporadic dates. They read like quotes from Reader's Digest.
They call these people. When they got
Life is
them,
what
call
you
them.
make it. Until someone comes along and changes.
I need air ammo. Really badly.
Brothers make the well, now that I'm told to set a better I'd like to get advice. He's a soldier.
It's all my church shit.
Intelligence at the 509. He knew a lot of secrets. He took them very seriously.
It's kind of hard to imagine the seriousness that people back then took secrecy, took nuclear secrecy and nuclear weapons in particular. I mean, there were hordes of Soviet spies trying to get this information.
In 1945, the United States and the Soviet Union were already Cold War enemies. The U.S. possessed major
They were basically the only nuclear bombing group in the world. He was entrusted with the biggest secrets that the military has.
One thing that the Marcel children insist on is that their grandfather was absolutely certain that the debris that he was holding in this photo right here, the official government photos, the press release, is not the debris that he found in the field.
I see my grandfather holding up something that he knew that wasn't what he found.
He was adamant that this was not what he saw in the debris field.
I see a man that is not liking what they're having him do, but he knows he has to do it because that's his job.
That's not what he found. And at that point in time, I'm sure he kind of felt, well, maybe I wouldn't be made out to be a part of it.
Keeping a secret is one thing, but telling a lie is another, and being the face of that lie in the newspaper could break a man like Jesse Marcel.
Well, that could explain the difference in the journal as well. Someone under that much stress, who knows how that manifests, it's different handwriting because you're in a different mental state.
What made the writing so cryptic, and why did it suddenly change? Did it have to do with the UFO or its passengers?
Okay, so you've got this hot piece of evidence in your hands. How do you plan on verifying that it's real?
I think the first step is to authenticate the document itself. Is this dated to the time period, or is this a creation? If we can exclude the fact that it's a forgery, then we're winning.
Do the forensics first to make sure that it's actually of the era.
Yeah. Another interesting question, why did he have it? Why was it so important to him that he kept it and left it among his things to pass on to his children?
And then the third tier is trying to figure out what the hell it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Work that out for you.
Right.
To further his investigation of Marcel's journal, Ben Smith contacts Jennifer Nassau, a leading handwriting expert. She will perform a forensic analysis on the document to determine if it's genuine or a forgery, and also whether Jesse Marcel wrote it himself.
I understand you worked for the Secret Service.
I did. I completed my training with the Secret Service and worked there for a number of years.
I used to work for the CIA, so we have a little bit of like USG connection going on.
My name is Jennifer Nasso. I'm a forensic document examiner. And what I do is I receive documents that are in question and I analyze them to determine their authenticity. At the Secret Service, I authenticated a lot of the threat letters that came in. We also did a lot of work with documents that were false and forged.
I do have a very interesting document that I need your help authenticating. A document belonging to the first guy on the scene of the alleged Roswell incident in 1947.
Okay.
A man named Jesse Marcel Sr. This would potentially hold Marcel's private thoughts about the incidents that July, about the crash, about the materials, about the potential cover-up. So I need to determine that this is not, in fact, a forgery.
If the journal was written by Jesse Marcel in 1947, could it hold the key to unlocking the mystery of Roswell?
I do have a very interesting document that I need your help authenticating.
Former CIA operative Ben Smith has brought Jesse Marcel's material journal to a forensic document examination center.
This is potentially hold Marcel's private thoughts about the incident in July.
Marcel was the first investigator at the Roswell crash site. While he was on the plane directly to Fort Leonard, Marcel's family alleged something big. The journal holds coded clues about what really happened. I would like to believe the journal is where it gave us the clues we've been looking for the last 7 years.
So I see most of the document written in cursive writing, and then it changes to a print writing. It may be an indication that there were two different writers in the struggle, that I would have to do a more thorough examination. It's important to authenticate historical documents because it can turn the tables in terms of what we know versus what we thought we knew. The date of the document is important to know because what I'm going to do is data shaping. The extraction date certain elements of the paper or the ink, we can see whether or not they were available during the time that this document was reportedly produced.
Some of the dates in the journal itself range from 1946 to 1948, 49. They cover the period of the Roswell incident. But one of my biggest concerns about the document is forgery. I want to make sure that this document is real. What can you tell me about what you've seen in forged documents? Have you seen forgery of this length before?
I have not. There is a famous case where there were several diaries reportedly written by Hitler.
Nobody is bothered. Nobody.
On April 25, 1983, the West German magazine Stern announced that it was in possession of never-before-seen diaries written by Adolf Hitler that could rewrite the history of World War II. Stern had paid close to $4 million for the diaries and sold the rights to other major publications around the world. Totaling 60 volumes, the writings were authenticated by several prominent historians.
Well, these are my charts.
But just days before publication, the diaries were exposed as fakes. A forensic analysis by the West German Archives quickly discovered that the diaries were made with paper and ink that wasn't even invented until after World War II. Their author was a prolific East German forger named Konrad Kujau, who wrote out his own confession in the style of Hitler's penmanship.
The way that they ended up determining that they were fraudulent is because the paper contains optical breakers that were not available until after Hitler's death.
Interesting. There's always conspiracy in every corner that I look. How long do you think it will take?
It usually takes a few weeks.
Oh, that's okay.
Especially something with magnitude.
While Jennifer Nasso performs a forensic analysis of the journal, Smith asks a team of archaeologists and geophysicists to meet him at the debris field. He hopes state-of-the-art technology will find signs, something more powerful than a balloon crash.
Even 70 years later, if we can find evidence that what crashed here was not, it could prove that Jesse Marcel is telling the truth. That that whatever crashed here was not
According to author Kevin Randall, the weather balloon explanation put forward by the military at that 1947 press conference blindsided not only Jesse Marcel, but also Mac Brazel, the rancher who found the plane.
General Randy, of course, trotted it out. It's a weather balloon. The problem with that is Mac Brazel knew what weather balloons look like.
This is Bill Brazel's memory of how his dad reacted.
He said, that's what the Air Force training
In this 1991 interview, Judd Roberts, manager of Roswell's local radio station KGFL, says that local residents were very familiar with the military's weather balloons.
What was the general reaction? Weather balloons, launched on the black premises. Weather balloons per se were not the
If local residents were indeed familiar with weather balloons, is it likely Jesse Marcel, an intelligence officer, could have mistaken a balloon for a flying saucer?
An aircraft. So it might be good aim. I don't know.
She mentioned Roswell. In most places these days,
asking for somebody to come about it.
It's a question, a story, a myth that is known practically worldwide. Smith has asked Bill Dolman to join the team of experts at the debriefing. Dolman is the former principal investigator for the University of New Mexico's Office of Contract Archaeology. Of all the disputed locations, this is the one that is least disputed.
you're the only one who's actually done a dig out there. And you've done two of them.
Two. Dolman made two previous expeditions to the debris field in 2002 and 2006. But he's hoping that using new technology might uncover fresh evidence.
Bringing archaeological skills to a potential debris site, I'm hoping that we can turn up some fresh new evidence. So what hit the debris field? There are a lot of conflicting accounts. Craft, just debris, some people saw a meteor-like object. What do you recommend we do first? Start with the archaeology dig or deploy the drone technology?
We definitely deploy the drone technology because the archaeology comes in where they identify anomalies that we can then go investigate using our particular archaeological methods.
There isn't a U.S. government map with this one, but I actually happen to have a journal that belongs to Jesse Marcel. Jesse was an intelligence officer, he was a smart guy. It's possible that he could have given some of what he knew in this journal. I would like to come in one way or the other. If there was any evidence of a debris site or an impact site and it's moved and leveled over, we might be able to see something. I am finally back at the Roswell debris field. It's kind of hard to believe that a place this abandoned and quiet could be the birthplace of ufology in the world.
The term ufology refers to the study of UFOs, and for some, Roswell is the most important because it is the site where an alien spaceship allegedly crashed to Earth.
With Roswell, we have the best elements of all UFO cases. Crash sites, physical bodies recovered, and then all the eyewitness testimony on top of it.
It's just this big mystery. Did it happen? What was it? That's still not solved. It's hard to write it off. And so you're left with this big question about something of incredible potential significance.
This is the famous Backhoe Trench 103.
So this would be what ufologists consider the actual furrow in the ground where some kind of craft made contact. You were here in 2002. You conducted an archaeological dig here. Right in the spur.
Yeah, and the furrow runs that way, supposedly. There are nails, big nails and rebar spikes in the ground, marking the grid system that we used for location control in 2002. Archaeologists are the crime scene investigators of the past. We treat archaeological sites just the way a
That was Chris.
All my comments are from other people. Those people chucking things out and all that.
Those methods are about to get a serious upgrade. Joining the team are two Canadian geophysicists, Colin Majeska and Eric Johnson, who will deploy 21st century technology to investigate abnormalities in the terrain.
So density altitude 67,170.
This may be the best somewhere from the that has stumbled in Washington. What kind of area are you outside?
I'd like to find additional
I just saw a young guy.
He's an AR.
Even away from your
I
mum.
use sewage for whales.
I saw a young guy. You know what I mean?
That's one of the whales. Right, that's AR.
What was it that was the
Diesel. I diesel and active.
I remember I've got what's it in the memory. And then that
I think that's diesel away. Somebody like this was going weird to cat because I was away for days at a time and it was just going weird. Really for anyone
How did
near
you
you.
know about having TV? Like, how did that even happen?
I think I just got it. It kept something in the flat.
Oh, you got a company for you?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so sad.
but
Who named that cat Hazel?
I did because it also got an engine, so I said it was a diesel. It was a wee smoky cat with white paws. So it was.
That's so sad. You should hear him talking of, asked how Diesel came about and he was like, oh, I just got it because he's like having a flat. He's got a wee bit of company for him. It's so sad. Oh, okay. Then he's like, you can't wait to meet her. You were in the sky because somebody That's so annoying.
Gave it away to somebody and like.
I wonder if it's still alive. How old was it?
It was only maybe about a year or something.
Oh, it was still about. I don't know. What is his name? It could still be alive.
I don't think that. And I went with my mum for about a week and then I went up to see Uncle Stephen and Dan. That flat was an absolute dive. You can share with the state of it. You can imagine the carry on the caper. That Boraga would come up to time as well, just to make it even more mental. Remember Boraga as well? With Danny Bo. Or you can imagine what that flat was like, Jill. You can do it for living in the
She's a tramp.
That's it, she's a tramp. That was an acting.
She's a tramp. I was in Auntie with you, that was the other flat, she's a tramp, because Kat told me about Shanice's tramp trick when she read. No, because she first started going with Uncle Stephen, she went and honest to God that flat was disgusting. She's like, they did a chip pan in the living room and everything. She's like, and Shanice, she went the very fact that a woman would wrap her rain up and leave it there. She went and totally blew my mind. You know what I mean? And I didn't remember and then we can go to
used to cramp.
There's about a million different.
See, to be fair, I think that was stuff that I was giving.
Probably, I'm not saying.
I think everything's not just coming in my life.
What she would say, honest to God.
And I wouldn't even think, to be honest, I would just put them on.
No, the one night, I remember the night I bought you clothes, the reason I done it, no, the reason I bought her clothes that night was because I was in the Asda doing it 18 years old with my mum, and I saw there was the army camouflage puffer she had it, and right next to it was a pink one, yeah, like white one.
Like shopping as a job and picking those masks and things.
I was like that, machine bypass, I was at an absolute fool and like the big one. I was like, she bypassed that to buy that. I'm like that, why did you do that? And I was like, no, this is new. And I remember I spent about £120 in clay.
God, and that was then.
Jesus. I remember you having stuff for Woolworths. Remember myself?
Aye.
The stuff for Woolworths was nice.
Oh, thank God. We got up stuff.
Aye, the stuff for Woolworths was
You
nice.
can imagine where I'd be with like.
Woolworths was a good shop actually.
Aye, did.
I like Woolworths.
I like my leggings are too short.
You love Dobby in the house help.
And I never got ice. I think that's what
Where's the back one?
I remember you saying and you were like, oh yeah, I'm going to go and then I thought you were going to say like my birthday so you're baking. I remember your wee sad face when you came back.
And see all the farce I had to contain.
I wasn't even worth it. It wasn't even worth it in the end.
That's what you get.
Extra sponge
Sorry.
points. Extra sponge points.
It's like it wasn't even worth it all that for absolutely fuck all.
The thing is, Michelle, I think you'd drop something into beans.
How?
Honestly. You put me to Dublin. What's the final this year? We're in the last 16.
Okay, in this competition, it's 18 Milan.
It doesn't matter.
I said the only
Actually,
way,
you know what? It was, I would get my biggest actually.
the only way they would get it is if other teams took out the bigger teams.
Right, stop right there. You just said that, right? The only way you get that is if other teams took the bigger. What do you think happens in the competition every single year? See that year that Rangers got to the final? Rangers were not anywhere near favourites for that, right?
I know.
Other teams put Barcelona, they put out the...
I done it.
That's right.
Right,
That's
in the
the way
last...
they are because the bigger teams have put it.
In the last 8, right? The quarter final, right? We would want to play Rangers in the final. Wrong what happened, right? There's an example right there. That's the example right there. It depends on what happens, doesn't it? I'm just saying, though, it's funny how we went to Dublin.
I think it's funny that we went to Dublin. We only could get to Dublin because they didn't want to go any further away because of the rain.
That's fine. You could draw it into
I think it should just be grateful you're at the top of the table and that something might come of that.
I want to win the European
You're
thing.
not going to win the European
No, if you want it's a bonus, it's a wee bonus.
Aye, get as far as you can, make some money. Do you know what I mean?
It's final. We've done it twice since 2007.
Nah, you don't know. I had to go it quite early.
With a Celtic league
And no,
since
no,
2004.
no, and you know the reason why I think you don't do it early? Because I think you don't get something in the Scottish things instead.
But we won the treble then.
Something like that, but you do not win the... That's the thing. You need to put all your time and effort into one of them, you know?
Want them all?
You'll never have them all though. No, that is terrible for anybody to look at that. That's what blew my mind, look at that. Look
The last time that final was anywhere near Scotland, do you know when it was, Michelle? Manchester?
It's a series.
You imagine security in Dublin?
They don't have to individual